one, take a look up here. Eyes up here. Alright, so a couple of effects you can do with the shapes that you cut out is you can you're going to be using what's called the blending option. I'm actually going to change the background to a white color, so if you want to like change your background color, you can do like new layer, and then you can just use the paint bucket tool. New layer like on the very bottom of the background. And I'm just going to use the paint bucket. This is just so you can see like one of the effects a little bit better. But yeah, like what you can do is you're going to click on the layer. So I'm going to click on the layer of the person down here. And then if you right click with your mouse on the actual image, you can click on this thing that is called blending options. And when you use blending options, you have a couple of different types of effects you can do for your pictures. You can create like a drop shadow, outer glow. You can do like a pattern overlay. So you just have to like kind of play around with these. But I'm just going to show you a couple of out, make it look real nice. So like this drop shadow here, if you click on the check button, it's going to create a drop shadow on your image, and you can actually control the drop shadow even further. So you click the check button, and then you will click on the tab where the drop shadow is. And then you can actually control the drop shadow a little bit more. You can change the spread, the distance. So if you look at like this preview window here, this box here, this is showing you where the drop shadow is going. So I can actually change where the drop shadow is. And if basically the drop shadow is kind of like a shadow, you kind of put like like it's like kind of like there's like a shadow behind it. There's like a light source coming here. It's going behind the person. And then you can kind of control like the size. It's like the blur, the spread, kind of spreads it out even further. Distance just kind of pushes where the drop shadow goes. And then you can kind of control like the angle of where it's coming from. So there's like a lot of different things you can do to manipulate the how that image looks. This is the opacity, so fade it out, make it real dark. So that's drop shadow, and then outer glow. If you look really carefully at the outer edge of the image, if you click on the check button, you can create an outer glow for the image. So I'm going to do like kind of like a blue. And then you have to click on the size and the spread. So I'm going to go back to the, let me click OK. I'm going to go back to my other image here just so you can see the glow effect a little bit better. I'm going to turn off the image so you can actually see the glow effect a little bit better on the picture. So blending options, but now you can see like there's like a blue glow going around them. So some of you that when we do the movie characters, you might want to have them glowing in different colors. This is an option you can do. Yeah, I do like a bright yellow here. You can kind of control like how it looks. So spread kind of controls how thick the glow is. You can also change the opacity to fade it out. There's just like a lot of like kind of playing around, see what these effects do, because there's a lot of different things. Pattern overlay, I probably wouldn't mess with this. This just puts like a pattern in the picture. You don't really want to mess with that. Gradient, yeah. I did like the inner glow one. The inner glow one, basically it just puts like a glow on the person. If you're gonna make this a bit higher, it's gonna put a glow around like the edges. So you want to do like the inner glow and the outer glow together, and they kind of go hand in hand with one another. Just because like on the edges, it's gonna glow a little bit in, and it's gonna go a little bit out on the edge. So this is how you can make those characters like really pop out from the picture. Inner shadow. So inner shadow is basically where you can put the shadow on the person. So this. So you gotta have to be careful with the inner shadow and the drop shadow. They kind of like go hand in hand with one another. Basically, it's just gonna put like a shadow around like the whole image here. So let me take off the drop shadow just so you can see a little bit better. Like if you're gonna do drop shadow, you can do drop shadow. But I wouldn't do both because they kind of do like they kind of control like the same thing. But inner shadow is real nice. Like if you want to make a shadow on the right side of the image, you can do that. So like this is kind of like putting shadows on the right side, and then if you want to, you can do the other way too if you want the light to come that way. So this is like to control the shadows even more on the picture or create a shadow on them. And yeah, I think that's all of them. This was more for like the text though. But you want to mess around with the inner shadow, inner glow, outer glow, and then the drop shadow. And then you can kind of like see like the difference here. That was before though, but and then if you look at your effects, you can kind of turn them off. Like this is the original one. These are the effects that I added. And then like drop shadow, inner shadow. Maybe there's a way you can control one at a time. Let me see. Layer knocks out. Use global lighting. Oh, okay. So if you don't want it to change both the inner shadow and the drop shadow, just make sure to click off of this. Use global light. Yeah, I think these both kind of control where they go. Yeah, you just gotta have to play around with it a little bit, but you know, you could do some interesting effects on your on these parts. Yeah, this is like an example of things you can do. Yeah. Oh, and then like one other thing too, I can show you this real quickly. So if you go into your folder, and some of those images that have the where it says overlay. So like specifically these types of images where it says overlay, these are like really the like bright effects or like fire. So you can actually you know, use these as an overlay, and you get some really interesting effects with this as an overlay. So I do Command T, and you put this in like a lighter area, like the background here, like this gray sky. You go to normal. These are like your overlays here. You click on normal, changes to overlay, and you can kind of create like a almost like a transparent look to the picture. Overlay usually looks nice, and then like from here, then you can do so like this is like a way you can make your layer mask manual. Like this part, you can just go to layers, layer mask, reveal all, and now create that box so you can do the erasing. You know, if you want to just like skip the this part here, and then you can use like a brush to erase this parts out. You know, you can kind of use it like, you know, try to blend it in the picture. Make this bigger. And I'm just doing like the like we've been doing 100 opacity. That's gonna erase it all at once. But if you change it to 30, that'll erase it a little bit at a time. So this is like a nice way to blend your pictures together if you need to blend them. You know, you can have like fire going in the back. I might duplicate this a couple of times. You know, move it around. Oops. Yeah, put that fire there. Maybe try. Oh, I didn't duplicate. Duplicate it again. Maybe move it over here. Yeah, they go back and erase this a little bit more though. I'll put this in the back layer. Or behind the parts there. Alright.